Film is like most things. Not everyone is going to like everything. And while we here at Tangent 1985 are often of like minds on the quality and execution of the movies we review, every once in a while we disagree.
And since this is one of those times, we're presenting to you a brand new series, a podcast-styled point-counterpoint, wherein we discuss our differing opinions on the movie of the day.
My name is M. Glenn Gore.
And I'm Nicole Cortazzo.
And we're at odds over...
ACRIMONY.
Alright. Well, Nicole Cortazzo, welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's amazing to actually be talking on one of these.
I know,
for the first time.
Yes. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do here.
Wait, why would I do that? We should just jump right into the movie stuff.
Because people want to know more about
They don't
you.
want to know more about
that. Trust me.
They came here because they clicked on a video on YouTube that said ACRIMONY.
That doesn't sound like something people do.
Yeah, we should just jump right into it. They don't need to know about me. Let's talk about this movie.
Okay, all right. So, Tyler Perry's ACRIMONY. When did we see this?
We saw this very recently. It wasn't opening night, I don't think.
No.
It was...
That would have been foolish.
How long's it been out now?
2 weeks?
Okay, well, we saw it about a week into its run, and we went on like a Tuesday at, what, 4
Oh, it was like 5:45. Because we thought if we went at 5:45 in the afternoon on a weekday, no one would be there.
Oh, right. And then we walked in and everyone was there.
Yeah, I had to like wrestle someone for a seat.
Yeah, the theater was surprisingly full. I thought it was going to be empty, especially since it was placed into one of the smaller auditoriums in that particular theater.
Yeah, but it was full of Tyler Perry diehards.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. And I was pleasantly surprised because when we walk in and there's that many people sitting in a movie theater, I always just sink on the inside. I'm like, oh, everyone's going to be horrible watching this movie because that's what going to a movie is like these days.
Yeah.
And they were talking, but they were all talking about the movie.
Yes.
You could hear that. So it's okay. It's forgivable.
That's really the least you can ask for.
It was a really great movie-going experience because they were all so into it.
It's true. Some people did bring children to this R-rated movie about adultery and lying and chicanery.
Yeah, that was a little odd.
That was.
But anyway, we saw it very recently. It's still fresh in our minds.
Almost 50% of us really enjoyed it.
Oh my god. You have to admit it was pretty damn enjoyable.
We will get to that in due time.
Let's talk a little bit about Tyler Perry first.
Oh, must we?
Oh, you don't have to sound so excited.
Oh, okay, yes, all right. Well,
what you told me earlier was really interesting about how he's this really incredible rags to riches story, and I don't know anything about Tyler Perry at all, besides what you just told me, and I haven't researched it at all or validated what you said, so you could literally tell me anything right now and I would just believe you.
I made it all up.
Oh, okay.
Tyler Perry is a 7-foot-tall Martian. Anyway, okay.
He shoots lightning out of his ass.
Bolts of lightning from his arse.
Okay, yes, tell us a little bit more about him.
So yeah, it is this like incredible rags to riches story. He was like living out of his car for like a long time, which I guess that's at least he had a car. But anyway. That's neither here nor there. He was working primarily in like community theater, just like kind of like trying to get his name out there, and only ended up taking like the role that became Medea, the role that made him humongous, like an overnight success. He only did it because like the guy who was originally supposed to play Medea like couldn't make it that night, or the lady. I don't think it was a guy. I think it was probably originally a woman. We've done zero research on it.
Yeah, we probably should have researched before we started talking.
Probably.
Okay.
But then it wouldn't be off the cuff.
Okay, so he did community theater.
Yes.
He had written the Medea character already.
Indeed.
But it was originally intended for a woman.
An actual honest to God lady.
But when she got the strep and couldn't she couldn't make it to that night's show.
I don't believe that's what happened.
I don't know. As long as we're making up facts.
Sure, yes.
Might as well embellish a little.
Yes.
But she couldn't make it, and
he had to do it. He put on a suit and went out there, and the rest, as they say, is history.
Do you know how long it took him to get from that kind of like local community theater stage and bring Medea onto the big screen to a wider audience? Like, what was the gap?
Let's say 72 hours.
What? That doesn't seem right.
I have no idea.
Were there scouts in the audience? Does Hollywood send scouts?
Does Hollywood? Yeah. I think that's something that's just reserved for sports.
Oh. That's a shame. They should do that.
It is. Everything should have scouts.
Okay. Anyway.
But yes, so now he's like super famous, and he's
still making Medea movies.
He is indeed. He is the Tyler Perry. So
I heard that Boo! A Medea Halloween wasn't so bad.
Is that what it's called?
I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
all right.
That's what I remember.
Very good. I did not hear that.
Oh.
I rarely hear good things.
Well, I heard that, in to his other body of work.
Relatively speaking.
It's, entertaining, as was Acrimony. Acrimony, I went in with absolute lowest possible expectations. I am not a huge Tyler Perry fan. I've seen clips of his movies, and I just know that his style of humor is not for me, which is fine. It's not for everyone.
It's like me and Jackass.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. If you like it, more power to you. It does not necessarily work for me.
Yeah. No,
Except that one time when they went into the desert and tried to give that guy a tattoo while they were in a dune buggy.
I remember that episode.
That was funny.
That was crazy. Anyway.
Moving on.
Yeah, so, traditionally, I'm not a Tyler Perry fan. I'm just not really into his style of comedy. It just doesn't work for me. So when you told me about 2 weeks before Acrimony came out that we were going to have to go and see it.
That I was going to force you to watch Acrimony.
I practically scheduled a dentist appointment just to get out of having to go and see this movie because I really had such low hopes for it. Because all I've heard about Tyler Perry movies is that they're just schlock pretty much. And all I've seen from the clips that I've seen is that it just is not for me at all.
Yes.
And I thought that this was going to be in the same vein as that, but I was very pleasantly surprised. It could have been the wine that we stored in the plastic bottle and snuck in with us. It could have been the lively, engaged audience or the child crying 2 rows behind us, but the magic was in the air. It was just perfect.
What was our wine bottle count? Our mini bottle count for that showing?
I think that was a 3-bottle showing.
Was that a threefer?
The Sutter Home Merlot minis.
Oh, yeah, yes. Nice little product placement, little shout out. Mm-hmm. They did not pay us to advertise for them on this, and would probably regret if they had.
But yeah, I went in with very, very low expectations. I was dreading seeing this movie, and when I walked out, I told you that I wanted to come back and see it again because I enjoyed it that much.
Yes, I thought you were going to say, we're never doing this ever again.
No, I was really surprised, and now I'm a little less jaded about movies.
That's good.
Yeah.
Tyler Perry, bringing people together.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
He makes dramas too. He's done many dramas.
Maybe I should watch another one of his dramas.
Well,
instead of his comedies.
They're problematic.
Maybe that's where my problem is. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this movie is not without its issues.
Oh no. And
let's talk about the plot a little bit.
Indeed.
Do you want to read the synopsis or shall I?
By all means, please read. This is the synopsis from Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay, not to be confused, which most people won't be confused once they read it, with the Wikipedia entry.
Oh my gosh, that's coming.
It's amazing.
Strap in.
But let's start with the Rotten Tomatoes synopsis. It says, tired of standing by her devious husband, is enraged when it becomes clear that she has been betrayed. Wikipedia refers to this as a psychological thriller, and it was originally titled She's Living My Life. And I cannot tell you how happy I am that they didn't decide to go with that title, because that's a really, really bad title.
Yeah, it kind of it tips its hand or shows its hat or whatever the term is.
You know what, the trailer was so misleading.
It was,
because when I saw, and I didn't even see the trailer until after we had watched the
just like made you watch
movie.
it.
Yeah, I went in really blind, but we did watch the trailer when we were writing our notes for this, and I was like, wait, that's not what this movie is about, because the trailer would have you believe that the entire movie is about her cheating husband and how she spends the whole movie getting revenge on her low down, dirty, cheating husbandman.
I thought you were going to say scoundrel for a second.
Oh, yeah, shit, we should have thrown that in.
He's a ne'er-do-well.
Very.
Yeah,
very
no, yeah, the
much.
trailer absolutely does just play the whole thing like, yeah, this guy's a monster, and he's the reason that her life is a shambles, which I guess technically
It's true,
It's
but
not inaccurate.
She doesn't spend the whole movie getting revenge. She spends like the last maybe 20 minutes
Yeah.
revenging her way through the end of the movie.
Indeed, she does. I think, okay, I should point out the Rotten Tomatoes synopsis cracks me up a little bit. It reads like the opening title crawl on a Star Wars movie. It has like these words like faithful, devious, enraged, betrayed. I thought that was very cool.
Yeah, the language is good.
Yeah, but it's not completely accurate. Now the Wikipedia synopsis.
Oh my god!
It's
amazing.
Get out there. Hopefully, no one's updated it. I copy pasted this like a couple of days ago. But yeah, maybe it hasn't changed. It's really.
I hope it stays the same.
Yeah,
I hope no one changes it. It's perfect.
All right, I'm going to read this, and as I'm reading the synopsis,
We'll just do a few little asides to talk about
indeed
those particular parts that we're reading.
All right, so okay, here we go.
Go ahead, take it away.
Yes, all right. Melinda Gale, which is actually the first mistake because that's not her last name.
Well, that's her.
That's her
married
name.
It's not her maiden name.
No.
But go ahead.
Okay, yeah. All right. Melinda Gale loses her mother, all while meeting the man of her dreams, Robert Gale. There's no period after that. It just rolls into the next sentence.
Yeah.
Her mother has left the young college student $350 and her beautiful home preceding her death.
I just want to point out, I don't know if we're going to show this up on screen, but it says 350 period 000 period 000.
Yes.
So $350
Yes.
I'm not really sure how
she left her $350 money and her beautiful home preceding her death. Robert is poor, living in an RV, and attends the same college as Melinda. Melinda is head over heels, like the kind that have eyes. Again, no period after that. She buys Robert a vehicle, anything he asks for.
Okay, I'm going to stop you right there because this is where we realize that all the characters in this movie are dumb.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're so dumb.
Yeah.
Because how long did she know him before she got married to him, A? And B, why was she giving him all her mother's money?
Yeah. Oh.
I don't understand. Like, I get that, like, some people will go out of their way to kind of spoil their significant other, which is cool. Like,
True.
if you want to
Yes.
buy your husband a car, go for it. I don't
Indeed.
care. But, I mean, you could tell that she didn't enjoy doing it. She didn't want to do it, but she did it anyway.
Yeah.
And I'm not really sure why, because that was all the money that she had in the whole world.
It's true. She
was
apparently
$350 money.
she apparently really wanted a man. I don't think that's a stretch to say that. That seemed very important to her to have a man in her life. They met when she was running out of the library.
In the rain.
In the rain.
They met in a Seal music video. Basically.
Like they collided with each other and like dropped their books. It's very cliche.
Yeah, it's horrible. Except for the part where, like, after they drop all their stuff when they crash into each other, they don't look each other in the eye and realize, oh my god, holy shit, this is my soulmate.
Exactly.
She starts screaming at him and wailing on him.
She does. And that was
like,
when
with her fists, closed fists.
her teeth gnashed.
Oh, wow, the passion is really there.
That was when we realized that she had anger issues.
Oh, yeah.
And that's like not her introductory scene. Her introductory scene actually takes place in a courtroom where a restraining order is being filed against
Because
her.
of her anger.
Because of her anger, yes.
Basically, she's an angry woman.
That's true. There's a shell story at work here. And by and large, I'm not a fan of shell stories.
Oh, I really like that.
When was the last time you saw a good shell story? Well,
Frankenstein.
okay, all right, fair. I thought you were going to go with Annihilation.
Annihilation. And Frankenstein.
And Frankenstein, the two best examples. Saving Private Ryan has a really unnecessary shell story.
Yeah, that one I didn't really go for, but this one I thought was completely necessary, and I thought it made it really engaging because she's like she's taking you through the movie.
She is.
That's like narratively how it's done is she's sitting in a therapy session telling her therapist about what happened.
That's right. Her disembodied therapist, whom we never actually see on screen.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
I guess.
According to
that's
you.
Not necessary. But, yeah, I like the Shell story. I like that there's a reason for her to be telling us this. It's like we are the therapist, I guess. Although the therapist was asking some really dumb questions.
That's true, yeah.
Like I feel like maybe Tyler Perry's never actually been to a therapist because the therapist doesn't talk like that. They don't, like the stereotypical kind of therapist is like, you say something and then they'll turn what you just said into a question and direct it back at you.
Exactly,
Like,
yes.
say something.
Shit.
See?
I would be terrible. I would be terrible at therapy.
But you know what I mean.
I do. I know exactly what you mean.
And that's how the therapy session was going. So that was kind of dumb. Yeah, she's taking us through this story, and they met in the rain, and it was not an instant connection because she has anger issues. So obviously, her first reaction was just to pound this stranger in the head with her fist.
It's true. And then he follows her to her dorm room, or he shows up at her dorm room later because she accidentally grabbed some of his papers,
and he grabbed one of hers.
That's right.
Which he read and then like tore apart. He didn't tear the paper, but he like
not physically, but like, figuratively.
When he showed up at her door, he was like, "Oh, hey, you dropped your stuff, and by the way, your thesis sucks."
Right? Because
you want to go out with me?
He had taken. That's a great come on. I've tried that several times. It does not work because no one enjoys being told what they're doing wrong.
Yeah.
So
anyway, and that's how their relationship started.
Yes.
And from there, it bloomed into
a horrible,
just awful shit. I don't know if at any point they actually loved each other.
That's like
the most depressing part of this film.
Yeah, put a pin in that. I think that's something worth coming back to.
We'll come back to that later.
We'll lampshade
So anyway,
that.
she marries him, and because they're now married suddenly,
we're jumping ahead. We're jumping ahead.
She gives him all of her money. That's where we were.
We're just
I circled it back around.
With these. The last thing I read was she buys Robert a vehicle. I love that. I love the indiscriminate vehicle.
Yeah.
It could have been. It makes it sound like it could have been anything.
It's like a Lasada.
Or tank.
Yeah. Okay. So she just buys him stuff. I do want to throw in really quick before we move on because I know this is getting really long
already.
Yeah, I know it's bad. Once we start talking, we can't shut up.
We can't use any of this.
We will be using all of this. I promise you.
It's better than redoing it.
I do want to point out that. Like the Disney syndrome rears its ugly head because as soon as like they start warming up to each other, bam, her mom is dead.
Her mom is.
We never even get to meet her mom, and then like he jumps in on her vulnerability because he shows up at the funeral, and then during her mother's funeral, she goes back to his super hot single wide trailer and they make sex. And this
is all true. This is all
I'm
true.
I'm not even making this up.
You can't.
And it does get the character points it out because she's talking over the scene.
Yes.
Like they're making the sex, and she's like, my mother's body wasn't even cold in the ground.
Oh yeah. Oh,
over here making sex with the man.
This is a good time to point your Taraji P. Henson impression. By the way, it's dead on. Fantastic. No, I think this is a great opportunity to talk about how bad the dialogue in the movie is.
Oh, Lord.
It is. And here's the thing.
And not even the dialogue itself, but the voiceover, because there is voiceover throughout.
Yes.
And while Taraji P. Henson's voice is velvety smooth and will lull you into a crooning sleep, it is so nice.
She's the Barry White of cinema.
Yeah. She has a great voice.
She does.
I loved her in this role, but God, the dialogue and the voiceover was just...
Yeah, it's pretty...
Man, it's bad.
It's pretty cringy. I think it's also necessary to point out that this was... I don't know how long it took them to write this, but it was filmed in 8 days, which beats... probably everything. I think the only...
What was the only other thing we said that it had been shot really quickly?
I know only because of Mystery Science Theater. It was a Warrior of the Lost World, which I believe was filmed in 14 terrible days. But yeah, 8 days? That's... I just think with a longer shooting schedule, knowing Tyler Perry, he probably had like 6 different movies going on simultaneously.
Yeah.
And he's just like kind of driving around from set to set, just making sure everything's going all right.
Yeah, it felt like the entire script was written maybe in like...
An afternoon?
I was going to say like 2 or 3 days, tops, maybe.
Yeah, a lot of time, if more time had been spent, some of the kind of flaws would have been more evident. And then maybe we could have corrected them. I say we like I was involved. But maybe they could have corrected them going forward.
Yeah, I get the feeling that he didn't have enough time to maybe even reread over his own writing to realize that the dialogue was completely not realistic in any way.
Yeah.
It was very cringy, and it was very plastic and stiff. It just didn't...
He probably does like George Lucas. Like, he comes out of his office and he's got a handwritten first draft, and everyone just applauds.
He probably has like an entire shelf of Spark Notes books behind him.
Oh, what a sobering image that was.
Okay, let's move on to less depressing things. This Wikipedia synopsis. Let's continue.
All right. One night, while Robert calls her, Melinda notices something strange, I don't know what that was, and heads over to his RV. She catches him cheating and is so enraged, she drives her car into the RV, ultimately causing damage and making her unable to have children.
Yes, so just to sum this up in a fun little nutshell, she rams her... Okay, so she drives over to his RV, and she says in the voiceover, I parked across the street to keep a low profile and keep an eye on him and see what was going on.
Yes.
And the way she says it sounds like the street is huge. She's like...
She's the only car.
It's almost like a drive-up window because her car was so close to the RV.
It's
I'm like,
true.
how did he not notice?
Yeah. Well, he was busy having the sex.
Yeah, he was making the sex, so that was fun for him, I guess. Not so much for her, but she sees, like, the Titanic hand goes up on the window. You know what I mean?
Exactly, the sweaty hand on a foggy window.
Yeah, it gets Titanic hand. She sees it, and she just sees red, apparently.
Yes.
And she almost just drives away, but she doesn't,
no.
Of course.
She doesn't make the right choice. You'll find in most cases.
Within 2 seconds, her Jeep is in third gear, and she rams into the side of the RV
Twice!
Because it didn't... It's like the RV didn't take any damage, the Jeep didn't take any damage, even though the sound of the crash was really loud.
Yeah.
So we were kind of led to believe that the impact was a lot stronger than it looked.
Yes.
Because I didn't see damage on anything.
No.
The second time she rams into it, it topples down.
It rolls down a cliff. Yeah. I'm embellishing slightly, but it does turn over.
It's a small hill on the front lawn.
Indeed, yes. Who puts an RV on a cliff?
You know what? Maybe you do.
I don't have an RV, I know. Give it a chance.
Oh, one day.
But lofty dreams.
Apparently, the motion of her slamming into the steering wheel when she makes impact with the RV was enough to force her to go to the hospital and have a full hysterectomy.
Yeah.
Both of her ovaries were taken out, so now she can no longer have children. And I don't understand how that works. Because when I'm driving, I'm holding the steering wheel with my hands and not with my ovaries.
Well, that's what you've been doing wrong.
Like, the steering wheel's up here, not down there.
10 and 2.
Like, keep it up here, steering wheel. I just, and I'm not doubting that, you know, a car accident has caused, you know, at least one or a few women in the past to have, you know, issues, damage caused to their reproductive systems.
Yeah,
but
surely.
This was not like a full-on crash. This was not a horrible wreck.
Yeah.
She, like, taps this RV.
She went 10 feet.
The airbag doesn't even come out.
Hey, that's a good point. I didn't even notice that, but you're right.
Yeah.
No
the
airbag
is not deployed. There's no damage to her Jeep.
No.
But she has to have a full hysterectomy.
Yes, she does.
And the way that the voiceover says it, it's just so matter of fact And then the next day, she's just lying in her bed with like a little scratch on her forehead, and she's fine.
Yeah.
She looks fine. She has a little frown on her face to tell us that she's sad. She's scowling a little bit.
Thank goodness for that. Otherwise we wouldn't have known. That's
otherwise
acting.
I would have had no idea. But I just wanted to take a little aside to tell you that it's ridiculous.
Yeah, that
this
part
is just so unbelievable.
Surely the law of large numbers, as you said, would indicate that has most likely happened.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Somewhere
There's
along
no way that hasn't happened.
Yeah.
Where a woman is like her ovaries are destroyed or her uterus has to be taken out. Something has to happen.
Yeah.
Because she was in a horrible wreck.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's
It was
I'm
a
sure
tough
that's
sell.
happened.
It was a tough sell in the movie.
But with this, it was just like nothing really happened, but we're supposed to actually buy that she had to have a full hysterectomy?
Yeah.
I don't
it was a
buy
bit
that.
much. In a movie that's all about going over the line and over the top that much. That was the first of many instances of the movie just kind of going full tilt.
Okay, so let's continue with the Wikipedia synopsis.
Indeed.
You're at Melinda Goes...
Oh, yes.
There we are.
Melinda goes against her sister's, no possessive apostrophe, request, and still takes Robert back after he apologized for cheating on her.
So dumb.
Yes. Again, another mistake. Another poor choice.
I mean, she did seem really, really pissed off about the cheating and the full hysterectomy, but she takes him back the very next day.
She really does.
And it's not like... Because if you're in like a specific type of relationship, it's very easy to fall back into that routine.
That's true.
But this was not that kind of relationship.
No.
There was no reason for her to stay with him, and we didn't even really get to see that she cared about him. She says that she was head over heels for him, but
She does. It says so
we
right
never
there.
actually see it. So the fact that she would go back with him, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah. They had known each other. Like they had known each other like an
2
hour.
months. Oh.
I have no idea. I don't know how long it had been.
It's hard to tell with the timeline here.
Indeed.
So she takes him back,
She does take him back.
and then he marries her.
Soon they are married. Years go by, which is going to flash forward. 18 years. Years go by and Melinda is working 2 jobs to support them, all while Robert is sure Mr. Prescott, who, will look at his rechargeable battery.
Yeah,
What?
we don't know. In the Wikipedia synopsis, there's no lead-in to who Mr. Prescott is.
No.
But to give you a little bit of background about Mr. Prescott, he runs some sort of company
Yes,
X.
yes.
We don't know who.
They're-
Prescott Industries. I think?
Yeah, they were like a think tank, and what he does is, if you have an idea and Mr. Prescott likes your idea, he will like bankroll it for you. He does like a lottery where he looks at all these great ideas and he picks one and completely like finances the research and development of whatever this thing with all this potential is.
Mm-hmm.
Robert has a rechargeable battery, something that I could have sworn had been invented already at this point. But the movie makes it like it's like space travel.
Yes.
Or
And don't forget, his last name is Gale. So naturally, they named the battery the Gale Force Wind.
Yes.
Oh, ouch.
Yeah.
That hurts to say.
I don't think there was no one in the audience who didn't snicker.
Yeah, everyone laughed at that. So that was a good read
Again,
on how ridiculous this
people
is.
coming together. So Robert's trying to sell his rechargeable Gale Force Wind battery to Mr. Prescott so it can revolutionize the globe, I guess. He works day and... I'm back in the synopsis now.
Yes.
He works day and night, and the company doesn't seem to be interested. Robert is a felon, so can't find a job. I love that in the Wikipedia article, that comes about as suddenly and unexpectedly as it does in the film.
Yeah, suddenly, after... Gosh, how long was it? He got Okay, so he graduated college.
Yes.
By the way... She wrote his tuition checks.
That's right. She paid for his final year of college. That was unfortunate.
And the day after graduation, they have this big fight because he had gotten 3 job offers.
That's right.
From like these big companies, and they were going to start him. All 3 job offers started at $150,000 money.
I was so angry about that when I heard that.
I'm like, this is bullshit. But yeah, maybe we should have gone into different areas in college. Anyway, he's got these 3 amazing job offers, and then he tells her, after they've been married, after she has bankrolled his education, after everything.
The ink on the marriage certificate isn't even dry yet.
He then decides to tell her, oh, I'm a felon.
Yeah. What did he do? Do we remember? Did he knock over a liquor store?
I don't know.
I don't remember either. I
have no idea.
I don't even know if he said. But yeah, he chooses...
All he says is that he did, I don't know, 6 months in the county jail. I have no idea. He was in prison at some point. I have no idea what he did.
He's been in the system.
They got married, and he decided to tell her after they got married, and after everything else, that he was a felon.
Yeah.
So he can't get any jobs. His job prospects are now turned
nil.
to dust.
Indeed. Oh,
so
man.
18 years goes by, and he doesn't get a job. She's been working like 2 or 3 jobs
at a time. Yeah. Gentlemen at home, if you're a felon, let your lady know before you get married.
Yeah.
If I may... I'm not in the business of giving advice. But anyway, eventually, Robert has spent all the couple's money on his experiments.
The synopsis says experiments. It's like he's, again with the Frankenstein thing.
Right.
I've seen a lot of parallels here.
He's trying to reanimate the dead.
Yeah, he's not like a mad scientist. He's just a horrible husband who's trying to build a battery. It's a really simple tale.
Let's see.
And so then after that, do you want to read the next
one?
one?
Please let me. Let me do this. Okay. Now he has asked Melinda to mortgage the house.
So just to recap, her mother left her $350,000 large ones.
It's $350,000. The Wikipedia synopsis says $350, but it's
really
$350,000.
$350,000.
Yes.
And the house, which by the way has been completely fully paid off, and it's hers. All she has to pay,
it's gorgeous.
It's beautiful. All she has to pay is like the property tax,
right? Yes.
Maybe like an HOA fee. I don't know what their community rules are, but she has this house and it's hers, and it's like the last thing at this point that she has of her mother, because her goddamn husband has spent all her money. So since all the money is gone and she hasn't torn up the floorboards looking for any hidden money, she thinks that the house is the last thing of her mom that she has. And this guy has her mortgage it, and she does it. And the scene, oh god.
Tell me about it.
It's so heartbreaking. I really, really feel for her here, because she, like, her hand is shaking and she doesn't put the pen to the paper immediately, and he's over next to her in the seat. They're both sitting across from the banker man, and
that's what he's credited as at the end.
In the bank office, and she's sitting next to him, and he's over there with this big smile on his face.
He's literally smiling.
And she's like on the verge of tears because she's about to mortgage the last thing that her mother left her.
It's
the
so
last
awful.
thing that she has. And her sisters really come down on her about it for good reason, because I'd be pissed, because that was their mother's house too.
Exactly, right.
So it's just, it's really heartbreaking.
I'm
and
certainly,
this is where we our opinions.
That's yes, as to whether or not Robert is an out and out monster, or if he's just, a good guy having a rough go of it.
I don't believe that he's a good guy. He's not like running around murdering people or anything. But,
not yet.
But he just takes every single opportunity to take advantage of this poor girl. He gets her when she's really vulnerable and takes advantage of that, and guilt trips her constantly, refuses to get any kind of job. It's ridiculous. He does this shit for 18 years. Granted, I don't understand why she stays with him. It's like buyer's remorse.
Is that what we're calling it?
Yeah, like when you buy something and you don't like it, but you stick with it because you already spent money on it.
It would be admitting defeat to let it go.
That's how I feel like she must be viewing this marriage at this point, because it's just in such shambles. It's horrible.
That's fairly accurate. I'll give you that. You can't return him to the store. You can't take him back to Best Buy.
You can divorce his ass.
That's true.
You're not getting your 18 years back, and you're not getting your $350,000 back.
You're not getting your ovaries back either.
No, you're not. Those ovaries are gone.
She blamed him. She blamed him for the loss of her ovaries, despite the fact that she made the conscious decision to
tap her Jeep against the RV
twice and send it careening off a cliff. Let's see.
Yeah, so we are in agreement on that. The ovaries thing, that's not his fault, but everything else is, and he's a horrible person, so... Okay, continue with the synopsis.
All right. The one thing the house. The one thing she has left of her mother.
Yeah, okay.
Melinda does this, and her sisters are furious, and rightly so. Robert runs into an old friend, Diana Wells, the same woman who was caught cheating with. Yes.
Enter, for the second time, Diana Wells.
Diana Wells is back.
She was the owner of the Titanic hand earlier in the movie.
Titanic.
Yeah, we didn't really see her. We just saw her steamy hand pressed up against the window.
We did. She showed up. She came out. She ran outside.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She ran outside for a split second.
I must have blacked out during that part.
It was all the wine. Because she was just as upset with Robert because she yelled.
He didn't tell me that he was in a relationship, and then she ran off into the night.
This is
only to be seen 18 years later.
This is something that movies where men are cheating. This is something that movies don't do enough. The woman who is cheating with the man on the other woman.
What? We're going to need to draw a diagram.
We're going to need a flowchart.
The woman being cheated on always blames the man. She blames the other woman instead of the man, even though she should just be blaming the man.
Well, but the woman who's being cheated... the woman he's cheating with.
Yeah.
Diana. We should start using their names.
Oh, fuck.
Diana, she's like, Robert, you're cheating on Melinda with me? Like, she's upset too. She's upset that he's with another woman and didn't tell her. So, yeah, movies don't do enough of that.
Yeah, so I do have to kind of applaud Perry there, because that seems a little bit more down to earth and realistic and reasonable, at least. In a movie where very few things are reasonable.
It takes two people to cheat.
It does.
Like Homer Simpson would say, it takes two people to lie, one to lie and one to listen.
So anyway, Diana is back.
Yes.
And she just so happens to be working for Prescott.
That's right.
That company that Robert is so obsessed with.
Trying to sell his battery to.
Yeah, exactly. So, and it's pretty damn convenient, but she is there. She's kind of the gatekeeper now between him and his dreams of fortune and fame. So he... obviously, he hooks up with her again.
That's the question. Do they? He says they don't.
Well, not while they're married, but after...
we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Yes. Okay. They eventually do, but we'll get to that in a moment.
So he tells he tells Diana that he's been trying to contact Mr. Prescott for years and asked if she could help get him in. She tells him that she can't, but she would still like to meet him for coffee to talk business. Now, back to the synopsis.
Okay.
To save the house, Robert is asked to drive and make deliveries for the sisters' company, so he has to give up the battery dream, which is what I had originally hoped the movie would be called.
Yeah, that would have been a much more enticing title. If I saw a big poster outside North Lake and it said, "Coming soon, the battery dream." Oh man, I should really get down on that. That sounds good.
I would not have felt that way. We should point out that Melinda's three sisters and their two husbands?
Yeah, I think one,
am I getting that right?
3 are married. None of them have kids.
Yeah, no kids.
Which I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're not going to focus on that.
moving on.
They all run this company together.
Yeah, they have this delivery company.
And to help save the house, because, by the way, the house is about to be foreclosed on at this point in
yes,
the movie.
we may have missed that part, but yeah. Robert has spent all of Melinda's money.
They go into the negative.
They do, yeah. She's at what was it at that point? It was like $80,000 in debt or something like
$1,000.
Anyway,
they're well in the debt hole.
They're in the hole. Yeah, they're in the red.
It's very red and very deep.
We're still talking about the money, right?
Shut up.
Okay.
They're in the hole now, and their house is about to be foreclosed on. So the only logical way to fix this is to have Robert drive for their company and make deliveries.
Which seems...
and they put him on... He works for them for a little while, kind of proves himself a little bit. And for whatever reason, even though none of them trust him, they put him on the job to deliver for their number one client.
I should also point out that...
if the delivery is late, they're going to lose this client.
They'll lose the
their
client.
biggest client.
They'll lose the client and the trucks, they said, if they screw this up.
Because the trucks are on the line, too. I
feel like it's also going back to the fact that everyone in this movie is dumb and makes poor decisions.
These are all horrible, horrible decisions.
They give him this humongous assignment, despite the fact that he's given them very little reason to... I mean, all he's done at this point is spend her money and not get a job.
Yeah, but the reason that they're giving him the job isn't for him, it's for their sister.
That's true.
They want to take care of the sister. They don't give a shit about Robert.
That's true.
I mean, they hate him. I hate him.
Yes,
I want to divorce Robert.
You are...
but it's not about them trying to help him.
True.
It's trying to help her. And the only way, I guess, that she will accept help, because she's dumb too, is to get her husband a job.
Yeah, and no one would... Because no one...
Yes, because of the felon thing.
He's an arch criminal.
He was a felon?
That's right.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think we mentioned that.
So, let's see. So Robert's got this huge delivery. Back to the synopsis. One of Melinda's sister...
Oh, wait, hold on. Just stop right there. We also have to point out, at this point, we're aware that he has this huge delivery that absolutely has to be on time, no matter what.
It has to be made by 11 o'clock?
11:30. Nope, 11 o'clock.
11:30. 11 o'clock.
It doesn't matter. Mid-morning. And we also have the other very important piece of information that he's been waiting on Prescott to call for 18 years. And as soon as they call, no matter what he's doing, he has to drop everything go and meet them. So you can see where this is going.
Yes. This is actually it's theatrical, but it's a pretty good setup for, a crisis that is just coming down the line.
Yeah. It's very predictable, but that does not mean that it's not enjoyable to watch him just run his life into the ground.
Certainly not. I would say this is like watching a train wreck, but it's so much worse than that. It's like watching a train...
It's like the Hindenburg crashing into a train wreck.
And going off a cliff into a volcano.
And hitting his RV. That's also at the bottom of the cliff.
It's never over. One of Melinda's sister finds Diana wallet. Oh, God bless you, Wikipedia. Let's see. In Robert's truck. Yes, Diana's wallet, which is...
We don't know how it got into his truck.
We totally know how it got into the truck.
You would notice that your wallet was missing pretty quickly.
It was huge.
It was days you noticed.
It was like a clutch. It was huge and it was pink. But
he would have saw that.
He would have...
Wait. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Now I forgot how to speak the good English.
He did not speak the English good like we do. Let's see. So, while Robert is driving, he receives a call from Diana. She tells him he has to make it there to meet with Mr. Prescott, but it is at the same time he's to make the delivery. He rushes home to grab his battery.
Oh, there's a really great little 10-second scene where he has to wrestle the garbage man to get the battery back, because at this point he had given up on the battery dream.
He had.
And he kicked the battery to the curb, and the trash guys were coming to get it, and he has to yank the battery out of the garbage man's hand.
He does indeed, yes.
He shoves him away.
It's so true. So he grabs his battery and sees Melinda, who believes he is cheating due to the wallet. He wrestles off an angry Melinda.
He's just wrestling everybody.
They fight.
They fight on the front lawn.
They fight on the lawn.
Guys.
They fight on the lawn, and at no point do police officers arrive and put their boots on his neck or shoot him dead in the process.
Yeah, that's amazing. And at no point do we see any nosy neighbors coming out, which is completely unrealistic.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing that would have started a traffic jam outside of their house in real life. So no, he wrestled with Melinda. She throws his battery, but he gets away. And okay, so here's where we start to get into the real nitty gritty. He does make it to the meeting with Prescott. He's got like grass stains on his suit, and he looks like he's been through a meat grinder. Mm-hmm. But Prescott sees it. He offers him $800,000, which is well over the amount necessary to save the house. That's very important.
So he turns that down.
He does. Robert declines, saying his battery is worth more than the offer. He goes home and tells Melinda how he didn't take the money, and she asks him for a divorce, calling him a loser.
That's a harsh word.
It is. But at this point...
I mean, it's hard at this point not to call him a loser. Like, from her perspective, I could see why she would say something like that. I mean, he's really just been a complete deadbeat, selfish asshole this whole time.
It's been 18 years.
18 years.
He has not had a... yes, Kanye. He hasn't had a job in almost 2 decades.
I mean, at that point, you'd think that he would at least go flip some burgers.
Right.
While he's continuing to research and improve his battery.
Yes.
But he didn't get a job that whole time. She was working up to 3 jobs at any given time. And he was just letting her do that. And
it's important to point out, the movie it takes like pains to point this out. They're growing over the 18 years, they're growing apart.
Obviously.
How
could you not?
No, absolutely. They're distant towards each other. That's one of the reasons why she suspected he was cheating again, was because they weren't making the sex.
You can stop saying that.
He's not touching her. He's not affectionate in any way.
He doesn't even say good morning to her, like when they pass in the hallway.
Yeah, they're sleeping in separate rooms at this point.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's like, I think he was
I must have missed that.
He was sleeping in his lab.
No, I think he was sleeping on the couch.
Maybe. He should have been. He should have been sleeping in the driveway. But anyway, I have to remember that I'm on his side and you're on her side.
I mean, how? I don't understand how. Okay, whatever.
We're going to get to that.
Okay.
So,
this movie makes me so angry.
And it's designed to. It's designed to push those buttons.
It's very effective.
In that regard, it is. So, their home is now completely foreclosed, leaving Melinda to now live with one of her sisters. And Robert finally takes a job as a dishwasher.
Only then did he take a job.
Yeah, only after there was no other choice.
And at this point, he's living in a men's shelter.
That's right.
A men's homeless shelter.
And remember there's that weird scene when I thought he had bed bugs, but it just turns out that someone stole his phone?
Oh, yeah.
He
started scratching himself, but he was just looking for his
He was just looking for a phone. That was weird. Yeah. Anyway, so now, Diana, whenever Diana finds out, she gives Robert a place to stay. She comes in, capital I, one morning, telling Robert his battery has hit big, and Prescott is giving him millions. How much? You saw how it was.
It was $75 million.
$75 million. The shot was like out of focus.
Yeah, it was really hard to read the check, but
yes,
I saw the 7 and the 5, so we can assume
it was at least 75.
Yeah. It could have been 750. It could have been 75, but we know that it was several millions of dollars.
It was dozens of millions of dollars. So Robert goes to Melinda job, according to the Wikipedia synopsis, giving her. Okay, this is important. This is really important, and this is where we really start to. This is where the wedge forms.
Yeah, he gave her a bouquet of roses.
He gave.
That was the important part.
He gave her $10 million. He gives her $10 million.
And a bouquet of roses.
And he rebought the house.
Yeah, he hands her the keys to her mom's house.
Yes. So
she just struck oil.
She really did. Okay, ovaries or not, I feel like he's in the clear at this point.
I don't. I really don't. This is where we really differ.
Here we go. All right, now we're getting into it.
This is where we get into separate bed territory. Because I mean, yes, $10 million.
I've been sleeping on the couch ever since we saw.
Yeah. No, that's no, we're fine, y'all. Yes, she got the house back. Yes, she can retire and doesn't have to worry about lifting a finger to do anything for the rest of her life.
Yeah.
After 2 decades of hard, backbreaking labor.
And I'll agree that
which is fantastic.
You don't get the 18 years back. You don't get the ovaries back. You're never going to have children. And like we know, the movie tells us in no uncertain terms.
It's not about the money, though.
It's not.
It's about the time lost. She gave him her 20s, her 30s, and from what it looks like, at least most of her 40s.
Taraji P. Henson would be really upset if she heard you say that.
Taraji P. Henson looks fantastic.
She does.
Her character in this
does not look fantastic.
They do makeup. I mean,
yes.
They make her look older.
She looks downtrodden.
She looks like she's been through the ringer.
Yes.
And she has.
Absolutely.
She gave him everything. She gave him the best years of her life. I hate saying that phrase because it's super cliche, but it's true.
I take issue with the term of your life simply because if someone gave me a check for $10 million, suddenly these are the best years of my life.
I mean, that's when you're young and spry and you have your whole life ahead of you.
$10 million, I can start a whole new life.
It's not about the money, man. It's about the time that she lost. She gave him everything, and he just took and took and took, and
so
it just makes me so angry.
Here's where we get into it.
He's basically a succubus. I'm not kidding.
So okay.
He's like a really ugly siren.
So here's the question.
Here's land-based siren.
The very rare land-based siren. So the question is he a horrible person? A bad husband? Yes. But
yes, I think he's a horrible person. I think that it's amazing that he even has the ability to feel guilty enough to give her a check.
I don't think he ever didn't care.
He didn't care about her. At what point in the movie did it ever look like he cared about her? There were no gestures. There was no love there. All he did was take and take and take.
But he was
so selfish.
He asked her, baby, believe in Robert. Believe in the gale force wind. And it's gonna hit big.
Because that's him begging her to care about him, not caring about her.
But the whole time he's like,
at what point did he ask about her dreams? At what point did he show that he was going to support her in something? He was only begging her to keep bankrolling him and supporting him and giving him a place to live.
He was looking at the long game. He's like, in the end, when this pays off. You're right,
he was looking at the long game. He was looking at his long game.
You think he's a con man.
Yes!
You think this was...
Obviously!
You, much like the trailer, believe that Robert Gale, creator of the Gale Force Wind, is a professional con artist and not just a kind of insensitive jerk.
No, I think you're giving him way too much credit. Because at no point in the movie do we actually see that he actually cares for her.
Actually.
Like, there's no passion there between them. Like,
all of his passion is for his battery.
Exactly. Why doesn't he just marry his battery?
Because oh, gosh. Once you let men start marrying their batteries, it's a slippery slope.
Yeah. I guess.
Consent matters. Let's see. Back to the synopsis for a second. Because
I feel like my eyeballs are vibrating because I'm so angry. I'm just so mad.
So he's at her job and he has given her a check for $10 million. Melinda is in shock and is angry with her sisters. I love this. I love that she's not angry with Robert. She goes back to her sisters and yells at them because she was going to stay with him. She wasn't going to divorce him.
I'm going to go back to the buyer's remorse thing for just a second. Because obviously she's gonna defend him because she's sunk all her money and time into him.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really easy to do. I mean, you defend your significant other. It's a thing that a lot of people do.
That's sweet.
Even when they don't deserve it.
as is clearly the case here.
So yeah, I don't blame her for getting mad at her sisters
Oh.
because they've been like these horrible little angels and devils on her shoulders, just giving her bad advice through the whole movie.
Indeed. Okay.
I was mad at them. I was mad at everyone.
So the next thing that happens is Melinda goes to Robert's new home. His new place is, you'll recall, it was this apartment that they saw.
Yeah, it was this this really nice loft, like top floor in one of the buildings in the city, and during like the week before they got married, while they were still getting to know each other,
Right, yes.
they were taking this romantic stroll along the waterway in their city, and they looked out across the water, and he's like, "Baby, when my battery hits big, we're gonna be so rich."
I like that everything we say starts with "baby." All of Robert's dialogue.
It's just that kind of a movie.
Oh,
I feel like we're not even making this up.
no, not at all. No,
No,
This is...
but he looks across, and you know that scene in Toy Story where Buzz Lightyear takes Woody, and he's like at this grand sweeping gesture with his arm. And
Exactly.
like,
That's what I
look
see.
at all of this thing everywhere. But,
That's what I see.
Yeah, he's just they're daydreaming.
Exactly.
They're dreaming about how their life is going to be, and it's really sweet and romantic. He's like, "I'm going to get you that loft, and we're going to be rich, and we're going to have this great life together."
Exactly.
Fast forward 18 years. Probably
Right.
like 18 and a half at this point.
Sure. But he was like, "You're going to have all the RVs you could ever want to to push off cliffs. I've got all your needs covered."
Yeah. But 18 roughly years later, after they're divorced and after he's made it big, he gets the loft because apparently, I guess his dreams never changed once.
No, he was everything he wanted to do. He was still going to do it. He
did end up doing it.
He ended up doing with someone else. Which here we go. So here's the thing.
Yeah, let's get into that.
So when
Wait, hold on. Can we backtrack really quick?
all right.
Because I thought this was pretty hilarious. When she gets the check, she goes home that night and she slams it down on the table because her sisters and their husbands are all hanging out in her kitchen.
That's what they do. Yes.
And the guy was like, "Yeah, we made it big." I'm like, it's like when a guy, or literally anyone, I've seen plenty of females do this too, but it's just this thing that people do when like their sports team of choice wins. They're like, "Yeah, we really pulled it in there at the end."
Exactly.
Like, "Oh,
yeah.
did you go out on the field?
I didn't see you.
Did you get that check?" I don't think so.
I didn't see you
I just
dancing in
thought
the end zone.
I just thought that was really funny that this random guy, one of the husbands, his face just lit up and he's like, "Yeah, we made it big.
Exactly.
But
right.
we're rich now."
Right.
Okay, fast forward. She goes to the loft.
She goes to the loft, and when she gets there, I mean, she recognizes it as their dream home.
And she starts just like breaking down and like begging him pretty much to take her back.
Yeah, she's overwhelmed. But then, guess who shows
Walks
up?
out is none other than the Miss Diana
That's
Wells
right.
Gale now, I guess.
Yeah, Diana Wells. Oh, they're engaged.
They're engaged.
Yeah, because she shakes with her left hand to
Okay,
show her the ring.
I don't know if anyone else noticed this, but she put out her left hand to shake, and I almost lost it in the theater. I'm like, "That's the wrong hand. You don't shake with that hand, bitch."
It was the.
Who taught you how to shake hands?
It was to show off the ring. It was absolutely to show off the ring.
I get that, but
yeah,
just
devious, petty.
just hold up your left hand and hand your right hand.
Yeah, do a Beyonce. Anyway.
So yeah, she shows up and
So Melinda loses it.
she runs out.
She flees
and
the
immediately
apartment.
becomes a drunkard.
Right, because she's got $10 million, so
Her mattress is on the ground.
yeah,
she's drinking like Coors Light.
she's drinking like a myriad of like
Shitty. You
like
guys,
bottom
she just
shelf.
got $10 million, and she's got a mattress on the ground, and she's drinking.
She
beer.
hasn't decorated. She hasn't redecorated since she moved back into the house.
I'm going back to. It's not about the money. She doesn't
Right.
give a shit about the money. She
Right.
just wants. God, she must feel so robbed at this point, and I feel so bad for her.
Oh, see, I'm of the mind that she should just pick herself up
Are you really gonna bootstrap her? Are you serious?
by her $10 million bootstraps? Yes, she should pick herself up by her.
You know what? I wasn't going to say it, but I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I'm going to make this comparison. This is like the end of The Mist. Where if he had just waited 30 more seconds, everything would have ended up fine.
Yes, Tyler Perry's Acrimony is
Tyler Perry's The Mist.
It's like Medea is in The Mist. Melinda goes down.
She really loses it.
She goes down this vicious spiral. She's drinking
completely unraveled.
She starts stalking them on Facebook. She sent like 1,000 psycho messages.
Yeah, she DMs them like crazy. And she spends all her time just torturing herself, just watching like their engagement videos and looking through all their photos. And I don't know why she's torturing herself so
dancing.
much.
She does a lot of dancing alone.
Oh, that was hilarious.
It was really it's shot like a series of like dissolves where she's
doing these weird ass dances.
It's like it was like a ceremony.
That music video where that guy was. You remember it hit really big. My pop culture references are really they're devolving as fast as her sanity.
I haven't seen a music video in so long. I couldn't even tell you.
I'll figure it out later. We'll link it in the description.
There we go.
After we put the video. Nice.
So the next step.
She really goes down a rabbit hole and she actively starts sabotaging them.
Yes, yeah. Melinda goes to the bridal shop. Let me go back to reading the synopsis.
Okay. Wait, hold on. At this point, we figure out where the original title came from. She's living
right. Yes.
Her life.
Yeah.
Because the new bride apparently just has the same exact thoughts and opinions and goals as Henson's character, because they get married the way that she and Robert were going to get married.
They live in the place they wanted to live in.
The same place, and she gets the same gown from the same designer.
That's right.
She was going to get her wedding gown from.
So here comes.
It's all identical. No woman in this movie has a distinct personality.
No, not really.
Which makes it really easy for the audience to just place themselves in that character.
I suppose that's true. They're just varying degrees of angry
and vengeful. Yeah, she just doesn't have a personality of any kind. Anyway, go ahead. You read.
So Melinda finds the bridal shop of Diana, according to the Wikipedia. She finds the bridal shop of Diana and destroys Diana's wedding dress.
She does this by she's got this big ass clutch purse.
She does.
Because she's rich now, so she can get a big purse.
That's right.
And she pulls out, I swear to God, I'm not making this up, it is a glass bottle. It literally has, I swear, I don't think I'm making this up. I think I saw this. No. It has a skull and crossbones on it, you guys.
It has the diamond, the multicolored diamond of dangerous.
The danger diamond.
That's right. Yeah, like corrosive, hazardous, if inhaled.
I think it almost
flammable.
Just says the word acid.
It's like a cartoon bottle of acid.
She pulls out this acid bottle and searches through the gowns. By the way, no employee in the shop goes over to ask her if she needs help or stops her or anything.
Which is easily the most unrealistic thing in this unrealistic movie, is that no one working at a bridal shop leaps on her the second she walks to the door.
Suspiciously rifling through these gowns that are waiting to be picked up.
Yeah.
You'd think that they'd be locked in the back or something.
Yeah.
Like a dry cleaners has more security than this upscale bridal boutique.
Right, they don't let you just walk around and touch other people's clothes.
No, but she zips open the bag. Again, no one pounces on her.
No.
She pulls out this acid bottle. Still, no one shows up. And she starts pouring it down, and the smoke starts coming out of the gown bag.
She destroys.
And then she just walks out.
Like nothing happened. Yeah. They didn't even say, "Have a good day, ma'am."
No, they called after her. They're like, because they see the smoke, and then they look at her, and then they look back, and they look at her, and finally it connects for them. They're like, "Oh wait, she just did that."
They put two and two together.
She gets away.
She does. Yeah. Well. No, the next time we see her after she destroys the gown, she's back in court.
Oh shit! I forgot about that.
That's right.
Yeah, we keep cutting back to the courtroom.
Exactly. So yeah, she's before the same judge now for the second time, or is this when we come full circle?
It's full circle.
This is when the restraining order is filed against
And now we
her.
understand why.
Exactly. Okay, yes. So the movie has made good on that. The court has also mandated that Melinda is to see a therapist. The biggest reveal in the second courtroom scene is that Diana she announces that she is pregnant in the pettiest way possible.
Yeah, she was like, I don't care about the dress. The little one's growing too fast anyway.
Right.
And
the dress wouldn't fit because
And that's the ultimate jab.
Absolutely.
Because we've already explained that Melinda has no ovaries.
In graphic detail.
And I don't mean to laugh at that way. But it just keeps coming back up in the dumbest ways.
Yeah.
They could have handled it with a little more tact.
It's so petty. It's so very insensitive.
This is an actual horrible thing that's happening to this woman, but this is being handled really, really in a very petty way.
It's glib. Certainly.
She, at this point, my God, I'm amazed she didn't pull a chainsaw out of her gigantic purse and start just going crazy on everyone in the courtroom.
It's funny that you mentioned that. That's coming. So back to the Wikipedia.
Was there a chainsaw that I missed?
Well, it's coming.
Right.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
Yeah.
So back to the Wikipedia breakdown. Melissa shows. The Gales are now married on honeymoon on their new boat. That was another thing because Robert swore that they would have a yacht. But
he gets a yacht with his new
he
woman.
gets a
So, and I think the Wikipedia entry right here, it says Melissa, but
it's
her name is Melinda.
Melinda. Right.
I couldn't get her name right. She shows up out of nowhere.
They're in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah, I don't know how she got there.
It's like
I really, honest to God, I have not. Was she hiding?
She was a stowaway. She stowed away. I would have loved it if she had her own speedboat and she's just chasing after their yacht.
And they just didn't notice.
And she jumps off onto their yacht like in an action movie.
When we see her shows up, when we see her show up, she's wearing the wedding gown.
She's wearing the wedding dress. That's right. That's absolutely right.
How did she get that?
Because I
don't understand. At this point, the movie completely unravels because a lot of things happen that I honestly can't explain.
It comes off the rails a little bit.
I can explain everything else in the rest of the movie. I can't explain anything from the yacht scene.
You can rationalize everything.
We should also point out that at this point we're past the therapy sessions. She has gotten up. Walked out. She's like, screw this, I'm done, and then she immediately is on the yacht.
Exactly. She has mouthed. I wonder if there are going to be deleted scenes on the Blu-ray.
I feel like there must have been some cuts there because
it's very abrupt.
It happens so quickly.
Like she literally walks out of the therapist's office and walks onto the yacht. So Melissa shows up and shoots Robert, causing him to bleed profusely.
She shoots him in the stomach, which is a horrible way to go.
It is.
And then all of the crew jump off the
She makes the crew jump off into the ocean, and then she sees the one time we didn't need a possessive apostrophe. There it is, and sees Diana.
Oh my God.
She tries to. I'm still reading this thing. She tries to make Diana give her, her wedding ring, but Melinda is struck by Robert and knocked into the water. So Robert then asks Diana to go get the yacht crew, the boat crew,
she has to, I don't know, get them out of the water now?
So she takes a little lifeboat and goes and retrieves the yacht crew and brings them back onto the boat. While she's off, on the ocean, on the open seas,
gallivanting,
bobbing for yacht people. Diana.
Meanwhile, so Melinda,
she's back on the boat.
To the boat, soaking wet with an axe. Suddenly,
she grabs an axe from. I mean, they're around. I know if I had a yacht, it would be lousy with axes.
Laden with axes.
It would be lousy with melee weapons.
So she shows back up out of the water. She grabs the nearest fire axe.
Yes.
And we don't see where exactly she strikes Robert.
The Wikipedia article claims that she strikes him in the leg. That may be true.
But the camera pans away, so we don't see it. We just see her swing the axe down. He screams. The camera pans away, and then we see some blood, I think.
You see tons of blood.
Like lots of blood.
Right. It's like Psycho.
And she brings the axe up above her head to swing down another time.
Yes.
But she doesn't realize that she has stepped into the chain where the anchor is.
Right, yes.
And she gets dragged off the yacht.
Somehow gets dragged overboard.
And she goes down with the anchor and she dies.
She, presumably.
Yeah. Well, she's tied to a fucking anchor. No one's coming to save her. And that is the end of her horrible Shakespearean story.
Right, yeah. Thank you for saying that.
Oh, you're welcome.
Say whatever you want about Tyler Perry's mastery or lack
Remember
thereof.
those Spark Notes books that we mentioned earlier? I think maybe he had read a Shakespeare tale the week before he wrote this.
Yeah, this is like Euripides quality tragedy. I mean, it's
very, very Shakespearean.
It really does hit all those classic kind of earmarks and beats and required to tell a true to tell a true tragedy. Everything starts off well enough.
I guess. If you want to call it that.
But it's like just these things like her family wants her to divorce him because he hasn't had a job in 18 years.
I mean, they don't even want her to be with him in the first place. She does it anyway. They beg her to leave him. She doesn't do it.
Exactly.
She finally leaves him. There's
and the second she leaves him, he hits it big, and to add insult to injury, gives her the $10 million.
And then decides to spend his life with this other woman who he has no background with, even though he's been saying, even after they got divorced, that he still loves Melinda.
Right.
It just doesn't make any sense.
No.
So it is very Shakespearean. I swear I will never tell anyone not to see this movie because it's so entertaining.
It's really incredibly engaging.
It's not a good movie, but it's like fast food.
Your individual is it?
Yeah, it's like
you'll have a stomach ache when it's over.
My ears are ringing because I'm so mad.
You'll have your individual mileage may vary, but yeah, I have to deduct for the various technical problems. The fact that
the green screen
there's green screen in this, green screen unnecessarily. It's for places that don't really warrant it. Two characters walking down like on the riverfront. Mm-hmm. That's green screen, and the scene is so long that it's impossible not to notice.
The other scene that was really, really noticeable was when he and his new fiance are on the yacht and they're looking up at the stars.
Yeah.
The stars are green screened.
They are. I don't understand. You have the money to shoot on, I guess, or either the editing is really good, and they're shooting on a set of a yacht deck.
I don't believe they actually built a set for this.
They
may have just rented a yacht.
They could have just used one of Tyler Perry's yachts.
Oh, right, he's rich. I forgot.
Exactly. He has them. I know you have them. So yeah, but I don't understand why. One, I don't understand why that needed to be green screen. Two, I don't understand why it was so poorly green screened. That was unfortunate.
He had the money to take her, but I mean, it goes back to the fact that this was shot in 8 days.
Right? Yeah.
So it's just, if they had just taken a little more time, I do feel like this could have been a really good movie.
Yeah, I agree.
If they took 16 days instead of 8.
That's all it takes.
Oh God! But it was almost there. It was almost completely there for me. But the green screen really took me out of it for a few of the scenes.
We can both agree, we're not at odds about this. We can both agree that Taraji P. Henson is fantastic.
She really brought it.
Even delivering the awful dialogue, specifically in those therapy scenes and in the narration.
The delivery of her lines was fantastic. I mean, she's a great actress.
She is.
I really like her.
She absolutely is. Hidden Figures, perfect.
Yeah, go see that maybe instead of this. But yeah, she is fantastic, and she really brings a lot to this role. She's superbly engaging. I can't wait to see what she does next, and I'm
Oh,
glad that she was cast for this. If
Yeah.
it was anyone else, I think this movie would have really sucked.
Oh, like to the point where you can't save it.
Because no one else in the movie is as, powerhouse as she is in that role. Even her husband, who obviously is one of the two main characters.
Exactly.
Even he is not very...
He's such a milquetoast. He's just such a milquetoast in this. But I guess that's the... and I guess that's, again, where we go back to our core argument, where we're opposed, is that I can relate to the fact that when you create something that only you believe in, that's a real uphill battle to continue fighting that fight.
I mean, but on the other hand, how much support does this man need? I've never seen or heard of anyone being so supportive as she was in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
She's really...
how much more could he have possibly asked for?
He hit the jackpot.
It wasn't an uphill battle. I mean, he got to stay at home every day for 18 years working on his damn battery. His Gale Force win. And didn't have to contribute a thing.
No.
I mean, he really made it. And then, as soon as things got rough for him, he's a millionaire.
Right.
So he had a pretty easy life.
That begs the question, though. Like she divorces him like 38 seconds before he makes all of his money. Had she just toughed it out, what do you think would have happened? How do you think that would have gone?
He still would have become a millionaire.
Well, yeah, but
divorcing him wasn't the catalyst that he needed. Like, he was still doing the same stuff. It wouldn't have mattered. They just would have been married when he became a millionaire. Like, them divorcing didn't lead him to some kind of revelation.
Right.
It didn't change his circumstances really at all, except for the fact that he ended up in a shelter, but that didn't change anything else.
Do you believe that... Because she goes back to court because she sues him for half of his fortune.
Yeah, she believes that she deserves more. And
do you believe that?
Yes.
And that's this episode.
Okay, let's just jump right into the rating.
There's
nothing more to say about this movie.
Yeah, we've talked about everything. This is
painstaking detail. If you're still listening, good on you.
Yeah, congratulations. That's impressive. If we do more of these, I guess that will ultimately depend on how well they're received.
This is the first episode, so we got a little indulgent. We
Certainly.
made a pretty long episode. I think if we keep doing these, then we're going to have to cap it at, an hour?
Probably an hour. 45 minutes to an hour. That will also depend on how entertaining or not the movie in question is.
This movie was lightning in a bottle.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and Nicole is right. Nicole is right. Go see it. We won't tell anyone not to go see it. This thing is kind of freakishly entertaining.
It is. It really is. Usually, I feel like with a lot of movies that just objectively aren't very good, I might still throw them on and kind of fall asleep to them. Right. There's no way I would ever fall asleep to this movie. I just could not tear my eyes off the screen. It was just so engaging.
I did feel like tearing my eyes out a few times, but tearing them from the screen, no, I couldn't do that. Okay. This is the kind of thing where if you've got a bunch of friends, don't invite them over to watch this. Wait until they're already there.
And then just put it on.
And yeah, just spring it on them. This is such a great party movie.
It is. It really is. I think I'd love to have a movie night when this comes out on DVD, or maybe if we ever pirate it.
I'll support this one. I'll totally support this one.
Yeah, this would be a great movie night.
This can go in the drawer of shame under the TV.
I would not recommend this as a date night movie because during the movie we were getting into fights.
Exactly. Right. Yes.
This is a really, really divisive film, especially if it's men and women seeing it, because obviously, I mean, as much as we agree on almost every movie that we see, except recently Pacific Rim Uprising and
Unsane.
Oh,
yeah.
For fuck's sake. Maybe we'll do episodes for those. But as much as we usually agree on almost every movie that we go see, save for a few little plot points here and there, by and large we agree.
Yes,
this movie was good.
We're not clones of each other.
No, we have our own opinions.
Yes.
But this movie really divided us. So maybe not a date night movie, but go see it with your friends.
Indeed.
It's fun.
It's a
fun movie.
It's a riot. It really is. It's
In a depressing way.
It's like a real, actual riot.
Okay, so what was your rating?
All right, I'm going to give Acrimony 2 stars out of 5.
I am giving it 2 3/4 stars out of 5. But for this particular film, we wanted to give it a separate 3rd rating.
Yes, an enjoyment.
Go wild with it.
An enjoyment rating, just for sheer, just in there,
Just
in
for
the
pleasure,
moment.
just for enjoyment. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is easily a 4-star film.
Oh, yeah.
As far as entertainment goes.
Without a doubt.
Okay, so that's it for today's episode. Thank you for joining us. If you enjoyed the show, please like, share, and subscribe, and follow us on Twitter for more updates. Hopefully, this will not be the only one in this series that we do, so stay tuned for another one of these if you enjoy listening to 2 people bicker for over an hour.
Cross your fingers for more arguments. All right. Thank you, everyone. This has been At Odds, and we'll see you the next time we disagree.
Which will surely be soon.
Bye.
Bye.